G'day viewers, my name's Graeme Stevenson and I'd like to invite you to come on a journey of creativity and learning and adventure through the series Colour in Your Life. There's an artist in every family throughout the world. And lots of times there's an artist deep down inside all of us as well. So grab your kids, your brothers, your sisters, your aunties, uncles and mums and dads and come and see how some of the best artists do what they do. We're in the beautiful North Island of New Zealand for this show to see an amazing artist, so come along and enjoy the incredible talent that New Zealand has to offer. G'day guys and welcome back to Colour in Your Life. Well, we're in the beautiful North Island of New Zealand at a wonderful place called Waipu and with an amazingly talented man, Mr. Ricard Robinson. Hello bud, how are you?
Thanks Graeme, good.
Richard is a fantastic plein air artist and actually paints a lot of the beauty of the North Island. He goes down, you go down to the South Island a lot too, don't you?
I do, yeah, every year.
And to see Richard's work, he really is a master plein air artist. But you originally came from an advertising and a design background, didn't you?
I did, yeah. I made the choice at high school really, when you get to the end of high school, and I was doing art all through then, and I thought, well, do I want to go into fine arts or do I want to go into advertising and graphic design? And I thought, well, the decision is really, do I want to eat or do I not want to eat?
It's a bit like that, isn't it?
Yeah. And so I chose to eat, which did me well.
Yeah.
And, you know, I trained in there for 4 years and then worked in that industry for 3 years.
Yeah.
And all the time painting in my spare time. Made the choice after I got married to go full-time painting and haven't looked back since then. Absolutely,
and you've really built this fantastic business around your unbelievable talent. And we're going to be going through this as we go on today, but you've got some amazing teaching videos, incredible other books as well. So I'd say let's get a start on what you're going to work on today, which is this beautiful scene looking down through the Bay Area and out to the ocean. And then we'll ask some more questions as we go along and you can enlighten the people on what's happening.
Okay.
Sounds fantastic.
Sounds good.
Okay, Richard, what's the first thing that you will do when you come down here to actually start this painting?
Well, I think it all starts with treasure hunting, you know. I'm driving along and I just find a spot. You might just zoom past it in your car, but you know, you'll see this spot that just captures you. What I try and do is get back to that spot and find what it is about that I love. And that's the thing that I want to paint. That's the thing I want to get down on this canvas. So with this scene here, I've painted it many times before and it is a fantastic scene. I bring lots of people from the States who come over to paint with me. So I'm just using walnut oil here and water mixable oils. I changed to water mixables a couple of years ago because I built up a sensitivity to standard oils. What I'm really looking for is the big shapes in the scene, how I can fill the canvas with those big shapes in an interesting way. Now, a problem that a lot of beginners face when they come out here is that it's so overwhelming. They think, you know, they're doing all they can just to paint what they're seeing. And that's fine, and you start off that way and then you move through that and you move into a place where you can then orchestrate the painting yourself. Instead of being under the power of the scene, you become the conductor of the scene. So you can move things around and you have that artistic license, which I have on me here somewhere.
You've got the license, have you?
Yeah, I got that license a couple of years ago.
That's great.
So now I'm allowed to move stuff around.
Okay.
With plein air painting, it's quite different to studio painting because you've got a lot to contend with, and that's why it makes it really quite difficult painting outdoors to start with. Until you get the hang of it, you get your setup just how you want it. Some things like an umbrella to help you deal with some of the issues with painting outdoors. Obviously the light's changing all the time, So the first thing is you have to paint quite quickly. You've got about 3 hours. Monet said he could tell the difference in the change in the light in a scene within 8 minutes. And so he'd have several different paintings set up in his garden and paint on different paintings as the light changed. Now you can see the sun's come out here, so I'm just going to grab my umbrella because it's quite hard to paint on a canvas where you've got light and shade because it makes the colours look different. So an umbrella is the answer to that. I'm going to shade my canvas. I took this to Hawaii with me when I was painting in Hawaii, but it's so windy you don't get to use an umbrella like this because it'll just take it away. So the main thing I want when I'm filling my canvas with shapes is variety. So it's just a very, very thin mix of walnut oil and paint. I'm not going to see this in the finished thing. If I use the really potent color like phthalo blue or the magenta, then that would start to show through in the finished painting.
Okay.
So I make sure I use a color like like the ultramarine blue or the red or yellow ochre that's not so potent. Beautiful scene.
The birds in the background, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, every so often the car goes past as well, but never mind, we're still in a beautiful spot.
That's right.
So, you know, in your journey to where you are now, what's been the major influence for you?
I guess if you look at the start of my career, it's my parents who were so encouraging and just gave me every opportunity to follow my heart.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, if you've got a mum and dad like that, it's the best thing in the world.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Such a blessing.
Yeah.
And so I try and give that to my own kids now, you know.
Yes. So this is really just mapping out. You know, you've just said before that you've got a scene that's fairly perfect, but you can really move things around as much as you want.
Yeah. So obviously, you know, I'm zooming in here and just taking a chunk out of the scene. I've moved the river here, so we do get more of an S-curve going like that. So in a scene like this, I tend to start off by mixing my darkest dark first and putting that in, and then mixing my lightest light, putting that in, painting in my most vibrant color, most saturated color, so I know that nothing is going to be darker than that darkest dark, nothing's going to be lighter than that lightest light, and nothing's going to be more vibrant than that most vibrant color. While I'm working with that darkest dark there, I'll just bend the color a little bit into the greens and pop that in there. Okay, change brushes for my lightest light.
So the brushes that you're using really do give you a broad stroke to be able to lay a colour down reasonably quickly. Is that the intention?
That's right, yeah. A big part of plein air painting is doing it well is painting quickly, you know. And so obviously the bigger the brush, the faster that colour is going to get on the canvas.
Sure.
Brush rule that I give to my students: pick the biggest brush that you would normally use and then use the next biggest brush. The thing I love about using big brushes is it gives you the opportunity to really focus on doing efficient and eloquent brush work, where you try and say with one brush stroke what you could use a smaller brush to say in 30 brush strokes. So I find that very exciting when you get a big glob of paint on there, you spend the time to look at it, at what you're trying to paint, and think about how you can convert that into a single brush stroke.
Okay, Daniel, you've got a very, very fancy aluminium easel there. Now, what is it and where does it come from?
Yep, this is a Soltec easel from America. I travel around the world a lot painting, and I found that the standard wooden French box easel tends to get broken a bit in transit. And I read on the website that a guy had this on the back of his pickup truck. It fell off the truck. The pickup truck behind him ran over it, and it was fine. There was a little plastic bit broke off, but other than that, it was fine. And I read that and I thought, that is the easel for me.
It's very rugged.
So I got this, and it's been great.
That's fantastic.
It's a little bit lighter than your standard French box easel.
Yep.
And obviously a lot stronger, and it's fantastic design. I really recommend these.
It looks like you're really pushing that paint in. It gets fairly buttery with that spatula after a while too.
It does. You find that you spend most of your time mixing colour. So when you say you're going painting, you're actually really going colour mixing. You spend very little time actually putting the paint on the canvas.
Yep.
When I make these instructional videos, you find that, yeah, you get to see yourself paint most of the time as colour mixing.
You've got 17 videos out now, haven't you?
Yeah, that's right.
And they're just fantastic. I mean, if anybody really wants to learn how to plein air paint with somebody that's got an amazing ability like Richard's, the DVDs are absolutely the way to go. These are fantastic instructional videos that you can get from Richard on his website. Now, what is your website address again, Richard?
livepaintinglessons.com.
livepaintinglessons.com.
Yeah, that's for my lessons.
Okay.
And my paintings website is nzpainter.com.
That's fantastic. So I can see you using a combination of the walnut oil and some fairly dry paint. Is that just an effect that you're trying to create through there, or a bit of a wash effect?
Well, in these early stages, I'm just trying to cover the canvas, and thinning the paint down is the best way to do that.
Okay.
Something I tell all my students is to use the fuzzy one eye, the fuzzy one eye pirate. Okay, so what I do is close this eye, and I make the vision in this eye go fuzzy by focusing in the foreground like this, but looking at the background. So this is why I got all these wrinkles here.
None on the other side.
None on the other side. All right. So whenever I'm looking at my scene, closing one eye, what that helps is gives you give you monocular vision. So suddenly you're not seeing two images of the same thing, and it flattens the image out for you. Making your eye fuzzy just loses all that detail, so that you're just focusing on the big shapes. And that's what I'm trying to paint, really, is what I'm seeing when I got the fuzzy one eye going. A lot of teachers will suggest squinting instead of doing the fuzzy one eye, but that just ruins your face completely. You're going to get, crinkles on both sides. So the way I do it is much better. And you can swap after a couple of years, move back to that eye, and it's going to even you out. Now really, I think what happens when you're squinting is that because you're seeing the scene through your dark eyelashes, it actually lowers all the values, it darkens everything. So if you're trying to see color, it's not particularly useful. If you're trying to see form, it's a good idea for squinting, but not so much with color. Color, fuzzy one eye, form, squinting.
All of the colors are fairly neutral. There's nothing that's too light and too dark. You're just building the base.
Just building the base, yep. And once I've got this whole thing filled in, I can see how these colors are relating to each other. And at that point, I can wipe stuff off if I need to, or apply more paint. So I do keep it fairly thin in the beginning stages, so that if I want to make changes later, it's much easier. The looser you start off, the looser the final painting is going to be. You can always tighten up. It's harder to loosen up once you get into a painting that's really detailed. If you get way down the track and you got all that detail, then you become precious about that detail. You don't want to loosen it up. Actually, I was painting here one day with a lady side by side, pretty much in this exact same spot, and we stepped back 20 feet to check our paintings out. We were at the end of the block-in stage, a little bit into the detail, and it was a fairly calm day like this. And out of nowhere, this little tornado came just 20 feet behind and started working its way towards our easels. So we ran, but we just didn't make it in time. But the little tornado put down my painting right into the sand, left her standing there. I don't know why it chose mine, but I'm kind of glad it did, because I picked it up and it was absolutely covered with sand, looked like a sandcastle. Mm-hmm. And I thought, well, it's probably better, because I wasn't that happy with it at that stage.
There you go.
And so I just got my water bottle and I just tipped it over the painting, and it took off all the sand and just blurred all the paint together. It looked fantastic. Yeah. I spent another 10 minutes just putting a couple of little details back in, and that was one of my favourite paintings we've ever done.
That's fantastic. A really happy accident.
Really happy accident.
Yeah.
So after lunch, we went up on that hill over there and we painted another scene. And I got to the same stage in the painting where I was feeling it's a little bit tight. So I took the painting off, put it on the grass, stood on it, and
Okay.
flipped it over, poured my water bottle on it again, stood on it again, put it back on the easel, picked the bits of grass off,
Yeah.
and yeah, again another 10-20 minutes and it was finished, and very, very happy with it. So if you get to that point where you're just feeling like it's too tight, you know, do whatever it takes to loosen that up.
So being plein air, obviously we've started, the clouds have come over, the wind's picked up. You've really got to be able to balance it out from studio work to outside, you know, if it's going to start to rain or something like that.
Yeah, it's a bit like any sort of outdoor sport really. Yeah, it's weather dependent, and just like surfing, if the conditions aren't right, then you often don't bother going out.
Yeah.
But there's so many great things going for plein air painting. Wherever I go and do workshops, I really feel like an ambassador for plein air painting.
Yeah.
Because I'm introducing people to it, and I mean, it is really hard and it's really horrible sometimes, especially to start with, especially on a day like this where it starts out beautiful and there's this whole world in front of you. It opens up and then it closes in, and but the great thing about plein air is that you've got all of this material to work with, and it's just telling you all of the time, it's giving you these clues to beauty the whole time. See, when you take a photo, as soon as you click that shutter, you've lost all of that, right? All you've got left is what you've captured there. So out here, you know, I can pick and choose stuff from all around here to put into this scene. And it just makes the whole painting so much richer, and the whole experience so much richer.
Yeah.
Plus, you meet a lot of people. As soon as you set up an easel, it's like an invitation for people to come along and chat to you. It's
so do you sell a lot of work by doing that too?
Yeah, a lot of people come along and buy off the easel, especially if you're painting something that's local, or you know, like I painted a scene with a guy's yacht in it, and he was on it cleaning it, and he spotted me and he came around, and then he ended up buying the painting, and that's great. It's
fantastic.
Great. Yeah. Now, although the light's changing all the time, which is making it really difficult to paint outdoors, it's also a blessing because it changes the scene in front of you, and it gives you different opportunities. You might get elements come into the scene like people or boats that really just finish the scene off. Often you just want to say, oh, can you just stand there and it'll only take me a second, but they usually won't. So you got to take a photo, have your camera ready, and take that photo. Just be aware that stuff like that might happen, and it's surprising how often it does happen, and it just finishes the scene off for you. So what I'm doing here with this blue is sort of preparing the way for the little sky holes in this tree, and for the light that's pushing around the edge of the tree here. I call that the infused light effect. I've got a little free video on that on the website. So here, the light's coming from over here, I'm going to need a strong cast shadow from the Pahutakawa tree.
Yeah.
Now, one thing I keep telling my students is that the more time you spend looking at that scene rather than looking at your painting, the better your painting is going to end up. But there does come a point where you've got to be just looking at this painting and asking the painting, what do you need? And it can look a little bit strange talking to your painting, so just watch out there's nobody else around when you do that. But if you take the time to do it, often that painting will talk back to you. I mean, I'm not hearing voices, but you can really build a relationship with the painting, and it'll tell you what it needs for it to be finished.
All right, Richard, I'm going to let you work on this, mate, because you're full steam ahead right now.
Great, thank you.
What about workshops with Ricard Robinson? If people all over the world wanted to get in touch, you do workshops with them?
Yep, well, this year I did a workshop in Italy and Canada, and in 2 days I'll be heading over to Perth to take a workshop there. But that's it for this year. Next year, Spain, Alaska, Canada, 2 in California, and Hawaii and New Zealand. What I tend to do is just let people organise them for me, like art groups around the world. They'll just contact me and say, hey, we've got a bunch of people, will you come over and teach us?
Cool. So I noticed you stepping back before, stepping up, putting your hand up, squinting your eyes. It's all part and parcel of getting the composition right.
That's all part of it. So when I'm blocking things off, I'm just thinking, well, can the painting do without that? Or could I change that? Could I make that darker? Can I simplify it? Can I add something? So at this point, I'm really not looking at the scene so much for inspiration now. I'm really talking to the painting, having that conversation I was talking about, asking it what it needs.
So these in many senses are draft paintings for larger paintings, aren't they?
They are, yeah. I mean, they can stand by themselves as finished works, but often I'll take them back to the studio and do a larger painting from these. And yeah, can do with a bit more work, but it's getting so cold out here, probably finish this back off in the studio.
That's a great idea, pal. Okay guys, another fabulous day with a wonderfully talented man, Ricard.
Thank you.
Thank you
Graeme.
so much for having us, one of the great plein air artists of the world. And if you want to do some workshops with Ricard, and you've got a ton of DVDs out, haven't you? Fantastic. Now, what are the details for the workshops?
All my lessons are on livepaintinglessons.com.
Yep.
And you can see all my paintings on nzpainter.com.
And it's marvellous stuff. And also, he has a number of books out as well, which is just fantastic. I mean, an amazingly talented man, and literally one of the best plein air teachers in New Zealand, if not the world. It's just amazing stuff. You can also come into colorinyourlife.com.au, see a lot more stuff in there. Hopefully we'll be able to get Ricard's work in there as well, which would be fantastic. And obviously on Facebook as well at Colour in Your Life. So until we meet again, and a bit of a cold day today, but a fantastic location down here at Waipu. Until we meet again, guys, remember, make sure you put some colour in your life, and we'll see you next time. Bye now.
See ya.